This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's what's making headlines on this January 8th. We're staying on top of the latest developments from Iraq, where Iran has taken responsibility for an attack on military facilities where U.S. troops are based.
Plus, more help is on the way for former Celadon employees impacted by the company's sudden shutdown. We have details on 2 job fairs happening this week.
And we're in the thick of flu season, and a number of Hoosiers have already died from the virus. Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with tips on how you can avoid getting sick. But first, we need to get a check of our Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. Todd Clausen is standing by with us this morning. Todd, welcome back to Good Morning Indiana.
I know. I spent a few evenings here with the evening crew. So, yeah, it's good to be back with you, ladies, and all of you at home as well. It's a chilly morning for us here across the area. In fact, it's the coldest morning that we'll see this entire week. With that said, these temperatures are still above normal, so you need the heavier jacket this morning as you walk out the door. The hat and gloves, you could probably grab those as well, and you'll definitely need the sunglasses from start to finish throughout the entire day today. These temperatures have fallen into the 20s in northern locations, 30s to the south, 35 in Bloomington, 31 in Indianapolis, 27 is the current temperature as you make your way up into the Peru area. One of the reasons why we're cold this morning, the skies are completely clear. You'll just need to warm up your car here this morning. You don't have to worry about any precipitation. Those snow showers you see in Michigan, they will bypass us off towards the east. So it's a sun-filled day for us from start to finish. It's just a cooler day compared to what we've seen. Our normal high, 35 this time of year. We should get to at least that and about 1 more degree for your high temperature at 36 degrees. A lot of rain is heading our way starting tomorrow evening. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are planning out your drive this morning. Here's a look at our map up in Hamilton County. Good morning to you. A 5-minute commute right now on southbound I-69 from State Road 37 in Fishers to the I-465 ramp, so no issues there. Let's take a look there on the northeast side. This is on I-465, a live picture here at East 56th Street. Traffic's traveling smoothly both northbound and southbound. We'll continue to keep you updated if you need to reroute at all this morning. Well, also this morning, we are continuing to track the very latest developments from Iraq. The Pentagon saying that Iran fired more than a dozen ballistic missiles into 2 major air bases housing American troops.
Thankfully, we are told there were no casualties. Iranian officials dubbed the mission Operation Martyr Soleimani. They are calling for revenge after the U.S. drone strike that killed their top military general, Qasem Soleimani. Hours before the attack, top Trump officials defended his killing.
He was plotting to kill, to attack American facilities, and diplomats, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines were located at those facilities.
We are not looking to start a war with Iran, but we are prepared to finish one.
Hours after the attack, President Trump took to Twitter saying in part all is well. He's expected to make a public address later this morning. We will bring that to you live as it happens.
The conflict between the United States and Iran is already having an impact on the U.S. economy. The price of crude oil has already jumped 4%, and you can expect gas prices to increase if global oil shipments are disrupted. Government officials are also warning of potential cyber attacks from Iran that could harm American infrastructure. That could impact things like fuel pipelines, power grids, and water supplies. If those systems are attacked, services could be disrupted, treatment of sewage and water could be harmed, causing people to get sick, and communication systems could also be hacked, slowing down first responders. Obviously, that would be about worst case scenario. We'll keep you updated. Developing overnight, 1 person is dead following an incident on I-465 near Arlington Avenue. That's on the city's southeast side. This happened just after midnight. Crews tell RTV6 that a person was hit in the passing lane of the westbound lanes of the interstate. That person's identity and why they were on the interstate is still under investigation. We are working to learn more about this incident, and we'll bring you more information as soon as it comes into the newsroom.
The Mishawaka teenager convicted of killing his pregnant girlfriend has been sentenced. In October, Aaron Trejo pleaded guilty to killing Brianna Rusalang, who was 6 months pregnant with his child. Trejo confessed to stabbing and strangling her before dumping her body in a dumpster. Tuesday Tuesday, a judge handed down a 55-year sentence for the murder of Brianna, plus another 10 years for killing their unborn daughter. Trejo will have to serve at least 75% of his sentence, which means he will be at least 66 when he is released.
At 5:05 down in southern Indiana, a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and eating parts of her body has once again been found incompetent to stand trial. 38-year-old Joseph Oberhansley is accused of killing Tammy Jo Blanton in her Jeffersonville home back in 2014. According to the News and Tribune, the ruling was made based on 2 evaluations found in December by psychiatrists. Over the last 18 months, Oberhansley has been ruled competent, incompetent, and then competent again. Oberhansley will be sent to Logansport State Hospital until he's ruled competent to stand trial.
Lafayette police say nearly 24 Ku Klux Klan recruitment flyers were found last week. Friday, the department received multiple reports about the flyers located just north of downtown. Similar recruitment flyers were found in Lafayette and West Lafayette in April of last year. Sergeant Mike Brown says a criminal investigation is not likely to happen, and there is not an open investigation because no threats were made. But police say if someone knows who distributed the flyers, they would be interested in talking with them.
Time right now is 5:06. A new community center in Broad Ripple is scheduled to break down in the next few months, but some neighbors are still fighting this project. We can tell you the new facility would have a gym, track, group fitness, and multi-use rooms. It would also be home to primary care facilities for Community Health Network. Bill Malcolm, who's opposed to the new center, created a Facebook group for people who agree with him. He does not want to see Community Health operating on Indy Park's land.
This is not about any particular health provider or any of the great works that Indy Parks does, the great work that Community Health Networks does in our community. It's strictly about keeping parks for people, keeping parks for recreation, and we worry that a precedent would be set, so will Eagle Creek be next?
Well, the director of Indy Park says this is a partnership with Community Health, which will help provide funding for the $19 million project.
To give us an opportunity to do something bigger, better, nicer, and to offer so many more classes and serve so many more residents is really the benefit for us. And to have a mission-aligned partner alongside us, I think just offers more resource and opportunities to the neighborhood.
The plan is still in the design phase. Leaders say a few more hearings with the city are scheduled. You can learn more about the project by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on that story. The time right now is 5:07. Experts believe flu season is shaping up to be one of the worst of the decade. And the CDC says at least 2,900 people have died across the United States so far as a result of the flu.
As everyone heads back to work and school this week, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning to talk about the germiest places in your office or classroom. Kelsey, I'm thinking I might have, should have brought some Clorox wipes out to the desk here.
That's right. So the desk is not surprising. This is probably the germiest place in the workplace. But what I did find surprising is a study found that women's desks are 2 times germier than men's desks because of our purses, our phones, things like that. There were extra things that women are putting on their desks. So, of course, doorknobs and handles are also covered in germs. So experts recommend not touching any doors with your hands. They also say the office, kitchen, bathroom, and shared office materials are germ hotspots. But if you're one of the unlucky ones who catches the flu or another illness, be sure to take care of yourself and your coworkers.
Well, don't go to work sick. I mean, take time out, get yourself better. Hand hygiene is really important, whether it's using a hand gel in your pocket or washing your hands real frequently. We touch our faces so frequently, and it's not only the sneezing and stuff, but the stuff that lays on surfaces that we touch, and then we get it up near our eyes and our mouth.
Another thing I found surprising was, as a recent study found, the average adult brings their fingers to their eyes, nose, and mouth 16 times an hour. Now, experts say if this virus continues to change, the flu season could go on much longer than normal, so it's still not too late to get your flu shot. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. Now I want to go over to the State House, where an Indiana House Committee rejected a proposal to direct $291 million in unexpected state tax revenue towards a one-time teacher pay bonus. The Ways and Means Committee voted 13-7 against the proposal. Governor Eric Holcomb has requested that revenue go towards paying cash for several college campus construction projects rather than borrow money for those projects.
Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 initiative connecting you to new career opportunities. And this morning, we want to let you know about 2 job fairs that will be held this week. The first is for former Celadon employees. The trucking company suddenly shut down last month. There will be a virtual job fair starting at 1:30 this afternoon. Participating companies include FedEx Express, UPS, Online Transport, DM Bowman, and Clean Harbors. For registration and more information, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com. And on Thursday, the Indiana Department of Transportation will host a hiring event. It goes from 9 to 3 at the INDOT facility on Brookville Road. Applicants are asked to bring a valid copy of their commercial driver's license.
It's 5:10. We're still 137 days away from the Indianapolis 500, but it'll feel a lot like May this morning at the One America building. Today marks the official kickoff for the 500 Festival celebration. It will be held from 6 to 9:30 in the lobby of the One America building. The countdown clock to the mini marathon will be unveiled. We'll also get a first look at this year's mini and 5K participation t-shirts. And speaking of the mini, prices increase at midnight, so today is your last chance to register for the race at the lowest price. Our own Alyssa Donovan will have much more on today's festivities when she joins us live in the 6 o'clock hour. Todd, are you doing the mini this year?
I have not signed up as of yet. We'll kind of see how the training goes as we work our way here through the winter and eventually into the spring. Outside right now it is cold and skies are clear. In fact, it's the coldest morning we've had so far this week, and you'll walk out the temperatures that are hovering just below the freezing mark in the 20s as we work our way throughout the morning drive with those clear skies. So you don't have to worry about any precipitation. Your biggest concern today is just going to be the cold temperatures, or colder than what we've seen. Every day so far this month has been above normal as far as high temperatures. These snow showers in Michigan, they will bypass us down to the south. So highs today, probably only in the upper 20s in northern locations as you work your way into the metro area, about 35, 36 degrees, and then southern locations into the mid 30s for Bloomington over towards Columbus with those bright sunny skies. While it is colder today, it is dry. Tomorrow, rain chances will ramp up as we work our way throughout the day, especially into the evening hours. And then once we get to Friday and Saturday, it's a complete washout. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. A Boeing 737 plane crashing in Iran, killing all 176 people on board. Straight ahead, what officials are saying about that incident.
First, there was dry January, and now there's veganuary. Why a new campaign is urging people to go vegan for the month of January and maybe beyond. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. A Boeing 737 carrying 167 passengers and 9 crew members has crashed in Tehran. This is a look at some of the first images we're getting of that wreckage. The Ukrainian International Airlines plane bound for Kiev went down early this morning, shortly after takeoff. Iran's state-run press TV says that all 176 people on board were killed. Those victims were Iranian, Canadian, Ukrainian, Swedish, Afghan, British, and German nationals. Investigators, they're on the scene right now, and they say there's no indication that this crash in any way is linked to the Iran-U.S. conflict. The FAA has issued an order banning all U.S. civilian planes from flying over Iran, Iraq, the waters nearby in the Persian Gulf, and also the Gulf of Oman.
The catastrophic fires in Australia have killed at least 24 people, devastated wildlife populations, and scorched thousands of acres of land. Now there's concern about the air quality in the country and beyond. Satellite images show smoke over Argentina and central Chile. Officials in Antarctica say they are also likely being affected. Since October, bushfires in Australia have released 400 megatons of carbon dioxide and produced harmful pollutants. Health officials there say they are warning people with heart and lung conditions to stay indoors. There is reportedly no health risk to people in South America at this time.
It is 5:16. Events on the West Coast and cell phones dominated the early part of the Harvey Weinstein rape trial in New York on Tuesday. The judge threatened Weinstein with jail time for repeatedly texting and using his phone in the courtroom. The 67-year-old is on trial in New York for allegedly raping and sexually assaulting 2 women. He also faces charges out in California. Weinstein's lawyers requested a delay in jury selection after the California charges were announced, arguing a cooling off period would allow for more time to ensure that an impartial jury could be selected. The judge denied that request.
Meanwhile, celebrity chef Mario Batali is under investigation in New York. The state's attorney general says it's looking into sexual misconduct claims against Batali and his former business partner. Investigators say Batali was not the main target of the probe, but is now under investigation based on certain findings. Last year, the celebrity chef was cleared of sexual misconduct allegations.
Getting around airports could get a whole lot easier with the new travel bag. The Moto bag is a carry-on bag that actually does all the carrying for you. Take a look at this. The bag has a seat on top for you to ride on, and you can go more than 6 miles on one charge at the top speed of 8 miles an hour. It can carry a person of up to 260 pounds, and it has about 1,800 cubic inches of space to pack luggage. According to the Chicago Business Journal, the bag's price tag is expected to be about $1,500. So, Todd, I know you do a lot of traveling. If you don't want to walk around the airports, there you go.
One, that is very lazy.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
That's your one time to get up and walk around when you're
traveling. And two, there's no way you'll ever see me on one of those things in an airport.
And could you imagine getting knocked in the back of the knees by one of those by someone who's not paying attention or something?
I mean, you know, you get to these big airports, Chicago, New York, you don't have, I mean, everybody's bumping into everybody, so. I don't know. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with a temperature of 31 degrees. The wind's out of the west at 12 miles per hour, so it's a colder start to the day. In fact, some locations here to the north are in the 20s. Lafayette, as well as Tipton, and 27 in Peru, still holding on to 32. In Muncie, Bloomington, you're at 35 degrees. So as we work our way throughout the day today, it's a sun-filled day. We just have a few high clouds across parts of central Indiana. Otherwise, the skies are completely clear. We have a few snow showers here in Michigan. Those will bypass us off towards the east. You don't have to worry about that. And even though today is one of the colder days we're seeing this week, get out and try to enjoy it. Maybe not so much this morning when it's really cold, but as we get into the afternoon hours with the sunshine and temperatures in the 30s, it won't be terrible. We'll have temperatures holding pretty steady here this morning. Afternoon hours, we slowly start to moderate these temperatures up into the mid-30s. Should get up to 36 degrees for our high temperature. Yesterday we were at 47, so obviously it's colder, but 35 is your normal high temperature for this time of year, and you'll see we'll be right at that here throughout the course of the day today. So this evening, temperatures will fall back down into the 20s. They'll hold pretty steady with a mainly clear sky. No issues at all. Tomorrow, no issues for the first half of the day. So your morning commute, completely fine. And you notice temperatures are a lot warmer. We get up into the low 50s tomorrow. However, once we get to the evening commute, there could be a few spotty showers. The bulk of the rainfall tomorrow, at least, will hold off until after sunset and after the evening drive. So there's a lot of opportunity tomorrow to still get out and about and enjoy the return of the mild temperatures. Here is the rain chances. Again, it's just spotty rain chances through about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Once we get closer to midnight, that's when the floodgates open. It becomes a steady rain overnight into Friday. Friday morning's commute's going to be a wet one. The lunch hour Friday is going to be wet. It's going to be wet for your evening drive. And this rain will continue not only for Friday, but all the way into the day on Saturday as well. In fact, Saturday night, it could end maybe as a little bit of light snow or a wintry mix. Not too concerned about that. What I am concerned about is the amount of rainfall we are going to see over the course of a Thursday night through Saturday. We're looking at generally probably about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. And I put the caution sign out there because the ground pretty saturated from the rain we've seen, the snow melt from December, and that is going to lead to the potential of some flooding here across central Indiana. So start to make those preparations for those heavy rain showers to make their way into the area behind that storm system. A little cooler on Sunday at 43 degrees, but then right back up into the 50s as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look right now at traffic over on the east side, I-70 here in Sherman Drive. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look here at our traffic now map as we plan out your drive heading in from the northwest side. It's a quick 17-minute drive down I-65, starting off here in the Dog Lake, I-865 heading to I-70 there at the North Split. no issues here. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes out for any crashes or delays.
Health officials say 2019 was the worst year for the measles in nearly 3 decades. 1,282 cases were reported. That's the highest number since 1992. The majority of cases were among people who were not vaccinated against measles. Cases were confirmed in 31 states, including Indiana. New York State accounted for almost 3/4 of the cases.
At 5:22, if you're still looking for a New Year's resolution, why not try out Veganuary? It's exactly like it sounds, going vegan during the month of January. That means giving up all animal products. That includes meat, poultry, fish, dairy, eggs, and even honey, all the good stuff. Studies show that a vegan diet could lead to weight loss, improve psychological health, and help fight chronic ailments like diabetes, obesity, and high cholesterol, along with health benefits. Scientists say eating vegan could have a positive impact on the environment. They say if 350,000 people eat vegan just during January, we could save as much greenhouse emissions as turning off 160,000 cars. That's what they say. Well, an unofficial national holiday comes off as pretty creepy. Coming up, what you need to know about Male Watchers Day and how you could celebrate.
Okay, and Indigo is planning to make some major changes to their routes, and they want your opinion. At 5:30, details on the proposed changes and how you can make your voice heard. We'll be right back.
Learn more at GVokeGlucagon.com.
There are a lot of unofficial holidays celebrating everything from chocolate to bobbleheads, but this one might be the strangest. Today is National Male Watchers Day. No, I didn't say whale watchers, male watchers. To celebrate, all you have to do is go out and watch men at work, at the gym, or doing projects at home. Yes, it is as weird as it sounds. No one knows who came up with the day, but it is apparently supposed to objectify men's appearances in a similar way women often find themselves in.
You two ladies are
here's our
very
man
lucky.
to watch.
You're some lucky ladies.
I can't do that whistle.
No.
Watch me all day long here, working over here in the Weather Center.
Hashtag bless.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, I never heard of it, but all right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Don't celebrate it.
No.
Yeah. We don't want anyone getting a restraining order against them or anything.
All right, get outside and enjoy the sunshine here today. It's a cold start, no doubt about that. As we're back down into the mid-20s, you'll need to bundle up. But once that sun comes up, we'll start to see the temperatures moderate pretty quickly back up to seasonable levels here later on this afternoon. A little below normal to the north, though, 27, 36, though, in Indy, 37, the high temperature in Bloomington. It's dry but chilly today, but a lot of rain's heading our way. More on that coming up in the next half hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, Iran fired ballistic missiles at 2 bases housing U.S. troops in Iraq. What we know about this latest attack.
And flu season is now in full swing. Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with tips on how you and your family can avoid getting sick at work and school. Here at 5:30 on our Wednesday morning, we need to take a check at our weather.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly out there this morning, and Todd Clausen is standing by with what we need to know as we head out the door on this Wednesday. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, as you walk out the door, you mentioned it, Lauren, it's all about the cold temperatures here this morning. In fact, it's the coldest morning and the coldest high that we'll have throughout this entire week. But the good news is the skies, they are mainly clear for us this morning. We don't have any weather-related issues. Just grab that heavier coat. Some of you may want to grab the hat and gloves. But other than that, it's a nice quiet morning with temperatures in the 20s to the north, 31 in Indianapolis, mid-30s from Bloomington down towards the Bedford. These temperatures that you just saw there, no matter where you are above normal. Our normal low time temperature this time of year is 21 degrees, so we're all above that this morning. Here are the clear skies. To the north, there's a few snow showers sneaking through Michigan. A couple of these may get close to Fort Wayne if your travel's taking in that direction here this morning. But other than that, we are going to feature mostly sunny skies throughout the day today, and temperatures, and that will slowly start to moderate. We're in the 20s throughout much of the morning. Then eventually we'll climb into the low to mid-30s later on this afternoon, getting up to right around 35, 36 degrees, Lauren, for our afternoon high.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look at traffic for your Wednesday morning commute into the downtown area. You won't run into any problems here. I-65 and I-70 at the South Split. Traffic is moving along just fine. We'll continue to keep a close eye on it, though, as we get closer to the rush hour. Let's take a look at our traffic now. Matt, planning out your drive times. This morning, 5-minute commute here on I-74, traveling from Acton Road to the I-465 ramp system, so no issues there. Let's take a turn right now, give you another live picture from our INDOT traffic camera. Here's the north side, I-465 and Michigan Road. You can see by all the headlights, traffic's picking up, but it's traveling up to speed.
2 bases in Iraq that house U.S. troops attacked with more than 20 Iranian missiles. This morning, we're learning more information about those attacks. The bases hit include the Al-Assad Air Base and Erbil.
Iranian TV is calling the strike a revenge operation for the death of Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani. They come as more American troops have landed here in the region. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
Iran striking back at the U.S., launching more than a dozen ballistic missiles, seen here in Iranian state TV video in what they've dubbed Operation Martyr Soleimani, revenge for the U.S. drone strike that killed their top military general, Qasem Soleimani. The U.S.-Iran conflict playing out on Iraqi soil, targeting the roughly 1,500 U.S. and coalition forces stationed about 100 miles west of Baghdad at Al-Assad Air Base. That's the same base President Trump visited in 2018 as his first to meet troops in the region. The president taking to Twitter to respond, writing, "All is well. Assessment of casualties and damages taking place now. So far, so good." No U.S. deaths have been reported. Officials saying there was enough of an alert. The U.S. troops were in bunkers at the time. Iran's foreign minister had told ABC's Martha Raddatz they wanted a proportionate response, but do not seek escalation or war.
Are you concerned that a strong response from Iran will end in an all-out war?
It depends on the United States. The United States took an act of war against Iran. It will have to be prepared for the consequences.
Iranian media quoted a top security official saying Iran had 13 revenge scenarios, any of which would be a historic nightmare for America. ABC News military analyst Colonel Stephen Gainyard saying this attack likely scenario 14.
And so there's just a chance here that maybe the Iranians intended to shoot into the open desert to not harm the U.S., but to be able to go back to their own people and say, we stood up to America.
The question now becomes how and if the United States will respond. President Trump announcing he will address the nation later this morning. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, an exact time has not been given yet for when President Trump will address the nation, but of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with the very latest here on Good Morning Indiana and also online.
Back here at home and developing overnight, one person is dead following an incident on I-465 near Arlington Avenue on the city's southeast side. This happened just after midnight. Crews on the scene tell RTV6 a person was hit in the passing lane of the westbound lanes. This morning, that person's identity and why they were on the interstate is still under investigation.
At 5:35, a pretrial conference is set for March 18th in the case of a semi-truck driver accused of causing a crash that killed 3 people on Interstate 65. The Boone County prosecutor officially filed 3 reckless homicide charges against Matthew Small. Sunday's wreck killed 21-year-old Mariah Tomey, 19-year-old Caden Kirk, and 1-year-old Hadley Tomey. Small told investigators that he looked away from the road to put his coffee cup down, and when he looked up, the traffic was stopped. His semi-tractor trailer hit 9 other vehicles. Kirk's funeral is set for Thursday, the 16th.
Working for you, a major bank tells RTV6 $5,000 will be returned to a customer's account after what the bank calls an error. But there are still many questions regarding to what exactly happened. Mark Godby showed RTV6 a mobile alert he received on his phone on December 27th saying $5,000 was withdrawn from his account. The problem is Mark didn't make that transaction. The bank told him someone withdrew the money at a Chase branch in Wanamaker. After more than a week of trying to work with the bank and law enforcement, Mark was not given an explanation and his money was not returned.
They say that they're going to have to conduct this investigation to determine what happened, but if somebody went into the bank, I know that they have cameras in there that peer down on the service counter where the tellers are. Surely it must have seen something.
RTV6 reached out to Chase this week. The bank says they are crediting the $5,000 to Mark's account. They call the situation an isolated human error. If you ever have a question or issue with your account, Chase says to call the customer service line on the back of your card.
Time now is 5:37. The Centers for Disease Control reports 9 Hoosiers have died from the flu, and experts say this flu season is shaping up to be one of the worst in decades.
The flu is very contagious, and as everyone heads back to work and school this week, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning to talk about some of the germiest places in your office or classroom. A dirty job this morning, Kelsey.
Yeah, and so the office break room is one of the biggest germ hotspots in the workplace. From the microwave to the coffee maker to the fridge, all these people are touching these items, which means germs are just thriving on them. Of course, doorknobs and handles are also covered in germs, so experts recommend not touching any doors with your hands. Maybe use a napkin or your sleeve, and your desk is also covered in germs. A recent study shows that women's desks usually carry twice the amount of germs as their male coworkers because of phones, purses, and makeup bags. I spoke to a nurse at Methodist, and she says they saw a decrease in flu cases over the holidays, and it's likely because people weren't at the office spreading germs.
When we're in a room all together, you know, it takes 3 to 6 feet. Somebody sneezes, and all of that droplet, you know, flies everywhere.
Foster says it's not too late to get a flu shot if you haven't gotten one already. Now, here's something to keep in mind throughout the day, something that I found kind of disgusting, but a study shows that 16 times every hour of the day, humans are touching their faces. So think about that, what you touch, and then if you touch your face. So try to keep your hands away from your nose, ears, mouth, eyes, ears, all of it. So I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. A decision is scheduled to be made today on the future of a controversial rehab facility in Anderson. Sunrise Retreat Center is on Ridgeway Drive near Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and I-69. It could become a place where people battling drug addiction or mental illness can get help. The building is a former church retreat for children with disabilities. It has been empty for years, and many neighbors are against the facility reopening so close to their homes. They've tried to delay the process since the beginning.
We're against the location because it affects everybody, and it decreases, you know, our property values. It puts all of us at risk for our assets and our investments that we've made our lifelong commitments to.
With bringing 100 people to the neighborhood, no matter who they are, that's 100 people that I don't know that you've just introduced to a neighborhood that only has 24 houses. So it doesn't make me feel safe. I don't know these people.
Today, the Board of Zoning Appeals is scheduled to decide whether the facility gets to open. RTV6 asked leaders why this location was chosen. No one would comment on the matter before the vote.
It is 5:40. Indigo is planning to make some major changes to their routes, and they want your opinion. They're holding several listening sessions over the next few weeks to get feedback on their plans for multiple route changes, including the addition of the new Purple Line and Blue Line, similar to the Red Line. And the Purple Line would connect to Indianapolis to the city of Lawrence. They're also proposing that Blue Line that would travel from Washington Street over to the airport. Well, Indigo says that they will be changing some of the stop locations and pickup times as well. More listening sessions are scheduled for the 13th, 15th, and 16th next week. You can find more information on those sessions and the maps of the planned routes in this story on the RTV6 app. Here at 541, let's get that bus stop forecast. So the kids are heading out there at this hour time.
Yeah, they're going to have to bundle up a little more today than they have the past few mornings here across the area, as temperatures this morning are a lot colder. We're in the mid-20s right now, and so you'll have an average temperature probably right around 25 degrees here across most of central Indiana as the kids head out to school with a mainly clear sky. As the kids come home from school, we're looking at a temperature right around 36 degrees with mostly sunny skies. So we'll have plenty of sunshine today. That sunshine just not going to help the temperatures all that much. As far as any precipitation, a few snow showers here now starting to sneak into northern Indiana. These will clip the Fort Wayne area, maybe over towards Portland, but that is just about it. Most of central Indiana will be dry, even though snow showers make their way through northern portions of the state. They should not produce much of anything in the way of accumulation. Highs today, though, only in the mid-20s to the north. It's a colder day for us. A little warmer to the south, where Bedford's up to about 40 degrees, 37 in Bloomington, then in and around the the metro area. High temperatures in the mid-30s. So, yes, it's colder, but more seasonable today. We'll talk about the rain heading our way coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The search is ongoing for 2 missing children in Idaho. Coming up, how their family is working to find them and who police are calling a person of interest.
And Facebook is banning some videos using artificial intelligence. Still ahead, why they're concerned the videos could interfere with the presidential election.
And let's take a live look right now to our west. I-70 here, a live picture west of High School Road. Traffic's moving along just fine, picking up as you can see on your screen. We'll be right back with more news, weather, and traffic on the other side of the break. Stick around.
Doctor about Chantix.
Here at 5:45, the search is still ongoing for 2 Idaho children who went missing in September. Now family members are offering a $20,000 reward to help find them. 7-year-old J.J. Vallow and his 17-year-old sister Tylee Ryan were reported missing after police conducted a welfare check at their home in Idaho. Their mother and stepfather, Lori and Chad Daybell, have not cooperated with the investigation and have been named persons of interest. J.J.'s biological grandparents held a press conference Tuesday to announce the reward and plead for someone to come forward with any information.
JJ is my heart, and I'm hoping that this will allow one person to simply say, I know where he's at, and give us that information so that we can bring JJ and we can bring Tylee back.
The grandparents also set up a website to receive tips. Anyone with information is asked to call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-LOST.
5:47 here on your Wednesday. A high school student in Houston is facing criminal charges after fireworks were set off inside of a school. Police say the fireworks exploded in the Klein Forest High School cafeteria and it caused an immediate evacuation on Tuesday. 4 students suffered minor injuries but were not hospitalized. Police say a male student was detained and later expelled by the school. The exact charges have not been released at this time.
Facebook says it is banning videos that have been manipulated by artificial intelligence. They are called deep fake videos and make it appear that someone is saying something the person never actually said. It's been feared that people might use the technique to influence the presidential election. Facebook says this ban is different than their policy on videos that have been edited deceptively. The company says it will continue to fact check those videos and label them false if they are misleading. All right, here at 5:48 on your Wednesday morning, Todd, it's a little cooler out today than it has been the past few days, but this is seasonable.
Yeah, you have to remember, we're at the beginning of January here. Our normal low is down at 21, our normal high is 35, and right now we find ourselves between those two numbers I just mentioned with a temperature of 31 degrees, so we're actually still closer to our normal high this time of year than we are our normal low. A little breezy as well with the west wind out there at 12 miles per hour. So temperatures are colder to the north in the 20s compared to mid-30s to the south, and you'll definitely need to warm up your car a little bit and grab the heavier coat as you walk out the door, but we are not expecting any real bitter cold air in this forecast. In fact, today is going to be the coldest day that we have in our 7-day planning forecast. And one of the reasons why we're a little on the colder side this morning is that west wind combined with the clear sky that we have all across the area. So you need the sunglasses today as well. These snow showers in Michigan will drift off towards the east, really not going to impact us much at all here in central Indiana. So it's a bright day for us with temperatures that will be in the 20s throughout the morning hours, climbing into the low to mid 30s later on this afternoon with those mostly sunny skies. Going forward in this forecast, though, rain chances start to return. We're looking at about a 40% chance of some showers tomorrow. That is primarily after sunset. Most of our Thursday is going to be dry. Friday and Saturday, both days almost a complete washout. There may be a few dry hours mixed in as we work our way into the day on Saturday, but for the most part you have to prepare Friday and Saturday for a completely rainy situation across the area. But it's rain though, not snow. That is the good news. So if your forecast breaks down like this for tomorrow, temperatures get back up into the mid-50s. That's the good news. It's a warmer day for us. We're back above normal by 15, 16 degrees with those cloudy skies, and then the rain showers showers will start to develop. So the rain showers develop across the area tomorrow after sunset at this point. Maybe there could be 1 or 2 in western locations before sunset. And then throughout the day on Friday, as we work our way into the morning hours, here we are at 2 o'clock, the rain is moving in, and then it just becomes steady throughout the morning commute on Friday with some pockets of moderate rainfall. The rain continues throughout the afternoon hours on Friday with maybe it lighting it up just a little bit. And then we just get another push of some heavier rainfall that's going to come in throughout the day on Saturday. Here we are at Saturday at 2 o'clock in the morning. Some heavy rain, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. And then as the colder air comes in Saturday evening, there could be a transition over to a little period of a wintry mix or some light snow. But at this point, the ground is wet. We're still talking about temperatures in the process of falling down, so we're not expecting any accumulation at this point. What we are expecting, though, is the potential for some flooding across the area. That's going to be a concern for us, I think. By the time we get to Saturday, we kind of wrap things up. We're looking at about 2 to 4 inches of rain. Working our way into Sunday, and then next week, temperatures stay above normal. Sunday, mostly sunny, 43. Monday, looking at a temperature of 52 with lots of sunshine. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look at our traffic now. Maps want to plan out your drive heading in from the west side. Starting off here at State Road 267, traveling through Brownsburg over to the west side, I-465, the ramp system. No delays. It is a 7-minute commute. So let's take a look right now across town on the east side. Our INDOT traffic camera here showing you I-70 and Arlington Avenue. You can see traffic's moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes around the metro area to slow you down at this hour.
Life on the road will be coming to an end for the award-winning country group Rascal Flatts. After a 20-year career, they announced their Rascal Flatts Farewell Life is a Highway tour, and they are kicking it off right here in central Indiana. Their concert will be held June 11th at the Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville. Ticket information will be made available in a couple of weeks. We'll be sure to keep you posted.
Girl Scout cookies are back with a new cookie. After the break, the new edition that also hopes to give girls a little inspiration. It's 5:52. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
The JanuaryIndyBoatShow.com.
Welcome back. It's 5:55. Here's a live look on the east side. I-70 view here from Sherman Drive. You can see traffic is picking up on the east side of town in eastbound and westbound lanes, but everything is open and traveling smoothly.
Girl Scout cookies are back, and this year there will be a new cookie in the lineup. They are called Lemon Ups and are crispy wafers stamped with positive affirmations. They say things like, I am a leader and I am a go-getter to help inspire young girls. Favorites like Thin Mints and Tagalongs are also still on the list, along with some gluten-free options. The cookies are sold for only 6 to 8 weeks. All right, we know Todd Clausen will be getting his hands on some of those cookies, that's for certain.
Yeah. I'm a big Samoa's gal. What do you like?
Well,
you got the gluten-free
as a
ones,
former Girl Scout, I have eaten a lot of Girl Scout cookies in my day, but since being diagnosed with celiac and now having to only eat gluten-free cookies, I'm not going to lie, though, I don't love their gluten-free cookies. Okay. So, Girl Scouts, this is my offer to you. I will come into the kitchen and help you revamp the recipe.
I'll eat whatever you don't want.
Okay.
Just send them my way. All right, outside right now, temperatures are in the 30s. A little colder than it has been the past few mornings, so you need to bundle up. The Storm Team 6 radar completely quiet for you. That is the good news as you walk out the door. Grab the sunglasses. You'll need those for today, and then you'll be able to put them away for a couple days. You'll have to trade them off for the umbrella. So it's mostly sunny today, a little breezy at times. That's going to cut this high of 36 down probably into the upper 20s, so have that jacket handy. We'll talk about the rain that's heading our way. Once it starts tomorrow, it is going to be a very, very wet stretch of weather with flooding concerns growing here across central Indiana. That's all coming up in the next half hour of Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us. We'll be right back.